What's up, peeps? As always, I'm your host, Lee Bentz, and thank you so much for joining us for this week's YouTube edition of Movies and More on the AEW Insider. No, I'm not a Sith Lord. I'm actually your host, Lee Bentz, and we got a big show today. We've got reviews of what I watched this week. We got what's opening this week in theater. I've got some trailer reviews, a bunch of movie news, some streaming news, weekend box office. Let's have you. So let's get to the show. All right, well, the first review is for Creepshow. You know, I'm a big fan of the show since it debuted. It sucks the first season was only 6 episodes, but like I reported in the past, it has been greenlit for season 2, so that'll be coming out probably next year. And the show was awesome. This was episode 6, the final episode of the season, and it did have 2 stories as always. The first one was called Skin Crawlers. What it is about, it's about heavy people who want to lose weight, who want to find love, who want to be skinny, get, great jobs, be treated right by people, what have you. So there's this doctor, of course, and he's got this miracle weight loss pill, or you know what I mean? But actually it's a worm. It's like a tapeworm that goes into your stomach and it eats away the fat. But obviously shit's gonna go wrong. It's Creepshow. So it involves a solar eclipse, I don't even want to get into it. It was pretty crazy. It was definitely gory. It was a great episode. And I'm pretty sure this one was the one that was directed by Tom Savini. If not, it was the other one. But I bet my bottom dollar was this one. And the second and final episode, it's the second story and final one of the season. It was called By the Silver Water of Lake Champlain. So what it was about this family. It's like a brother, sister, and a mother. The mother's married to, well, not married with, but with this asshole drunk fucking boyfriend. These kids had their father die on them. He always believed in and hunted this monster that was supposedly in the lake where they lived, and that's how he actually died. So you gotta see, was the monster true? What have you? What happens with the dickhead stepfather? Yada yada. I don't want to go into it too much, but it was pretty good. But personally, I wouldn't have chosen to end the series with this season with the story, but that's them. But I do give the final episode of Creepshow for season 1 7 out of 10 stars. It was decent, but there's definitely better episodes like 5 and 3. All right, we did watch American Horror Story episode 7. We only got 2 episodes left, peeps, and I'm pissed because American Horror Story always goes by way too quick. And this one, they're just banging out, you know what I mean? It used to be they play a couple, then they take like a break for Christmas, a break, for Thanksgiving, and it wouldn't even come back until January and shit. But they're banging all 9 episodes out, and it's going to be over within 2 weeks unless they have a little break in between. It was called Lady in White. Now, if you're fans of the show, you know Lady in White was played by that blonde-headed chick. I don't have her real name on me, but she's the bomb actress. And she actually is in this, and she plays the Lady in White. But it's not the Lady in White witch from like Stevie Nicks and Coven, what have you. This episode actually gives a backstory to Camp Redwood. We know about the 1984 murders. We know about the 1976 or whatever the hell it was, 74. But there was actually murders at the camp like in the 40s or 50s. That could be why there's a curse on the camp, while dead people can't leave, what have you. So this episode explores the real murder and what set everything in motion in the camp, and the Lady in White is vicious. So I don't want to ruin it all. You guys probably seen it already. The new episode's like on tomorrow, but if not, you gotta watch Lady in White. It was excellent. I do give it 8 out of 10 stars. And then finally, I did watch the first 3 episodes of Netflix's new show that is called Daybreak. Now, I've been wanting to see this. The comic book, aka graphic novel, is awesome. Since I seen the trailer, I wanted to see it because it looks like they got it right. And after watching the first 3 episodes, I have to say, they got it right. It's fucking great. You can tell it's geared towards younger people, you know what I mean? But definitely older people will get it too. I was laughing my ass off at all the references they made, all the shit they were saying. But it's cool, hip, and it's what high school students that age would do if there was a fucking an apocalypse, you know what I mean? Like all the adults got turned to zombies somewhat. They're not just mindless zombies. They pretty much keep repeating and go after the last thing they were doing at the time. All the kids break up into different groups, like the football team, all the jocks get together, and they're like Mad Max and the Thunderdome type. You got to see the golf team. They're hilarious, and their fucking leader of the golf team's hilarious. But these guys are vicious. They got weapons, they got all kinds of shit, and they want to kill. So the story centers around this kid. Well, before the apocalypse, he was actually a new kid in town. So the bullies picked on him, what have you. A chick liked him, yada yada. He wanted to get with this chick, but then the apocalypse happened. So right now his mission is to find her. He teams up with a couple people, a ragtag group, and they're just stuck in this fucking crazy world. So I love Daybreak. Right now I'm giving the first 3 episodes, what I've seen is an 8 out of 10. Once I finish it all, I'll let you guys know. But if you haven't seen it, you really should. Daybreak is awesome. All right, opening this week, we have a lot of movies opening up, and a lot of them look pretty good, actually. The first, the one I want to see the most, is Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. Now, this is the true official sequel to The Shining. I read the book in 2014, and it was fucking amazing. I literally thought to myself and prayed, I hope they make a movie, and if they do, I hope they fucking get it right. Well, from all the coming attractions I see, it looks like they fucking nailed it. The only complaint I did have was the woman with the hat, the top hat. For some reason, when reading a book, I pictured her as, a different color, actually. I pictured her looking like Lisa Bonet or fucking Angela Bassett with dreadlocks, for real. So when I seen the girl, the woman they did cast for her, I wasn't too excited. But as I'm watching the trailer and then seeing behind the scenes, like, she's a true fan of The Shining and of this book, and I think she's going to do a really good job. I just read that on the set, she actually stole a couple pieces of memorabilia. They go to the Outlook Hotel. I'm not going to say anything, blah, 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 why, yada, yada, but it is the Shining sequel. She went into the room where there was Jack's typewriter, and there were a bunch of papers that said, all work and no play. So she actually swiped 5 of those papers that said that repeatedly on that. She framed them, and she put them on her wall. So Lady in the Top Hat, I'm down with you. But what it's about from the book, I won't give too much away, is about Danny Torrance, the little kid from The Shining. He's all grown up now, but he became an alcoholic just like his fucking father was, and he actually is like a nurse. He works in hospice, and they call him Dr. Sleep because for some reason he can go on a patient when they're dying and they pass peacefully. He actually has the power to have them pass over nice, The Shining. Well, these people in the top hats that ride around in caravans and RVs, which you see all the time, they also want The Shining like he has, but they live off of it. To live and to stay young, they have to feed off of people who have it. And most of their victims are young people because they can't fight back. Well, they do have to go after this one girl, and that's why Danny tries to protect her. So it's awesome. You got to see Dr. Sleep. Go see it, peeps. Also, we do have Playing with Fire. Now, this is John Cena's new movie. This looks pretty good for kids and adults. What it is that he's a forest firefighter. Like, they stay in the forest, any big forest fires, they go out, they're a team, you know what I mean? And they go put them out. Well, him and his crew were up in their little tree hut in the forest, you know what I mean, ready to fight fires. John Cena's playing a serious role. He's a real strict guy, really anal, what have you. And for some reason, they find these kids or something, and they actually have to watch over them until real help or their parents can come get them, and a bunch of crazy shit happens. So check out Playing with Fire. We also have Honey Boy, which I believe is directed by Shia LaBeouf, unless he wrote it and directed it. But it kind of pulls a lot from his life. It's about this real young kid who wants to be an actor. Whose father wanted to be an actor. So they show him from a young child till he grows all the way up and only becomes a stuntman. And how his father kind of hated him for it and lived off of him and had to give his life up for his kid's dream. So it looks really fucked up. Check out Honey Boy. We also had Midway. I'm not even excited about this. If you see Pearl Harbor, you read about it, you know what happened. I don't care how they could twist it or rewrite it or add their own shit in. I'm not interested. But Midway does start, and it's a new story about what happened at Pearl Harbor. And finally, Last Christmas. This is a kid chick flick. If you got your girl, you want to take her to see a movie that might not be that bad, this might be it. Plus, it's a holiday movie. My daughter came out last night, said she's dying to see it. Thank God her aunt is actually taking her to see it this weekend, so I don't have to. But if you need a nice date movie or you want something with the kids or some Christmas early, check out Last Christmas. On to movie trailers. 2 of them that dropped this week caught my eye. There was a couple more, but I did like these 2. The first is called Little Joe. Now, it's about a scientist or a woman who works for a scientist. Her boss creates a plant that when you smell its pollen, it can legit make you so happy. You feel great. It's just amazing to have this plant in your life. They got pre-orders for it. It's going through the roof. Everybody wants this plant. Well, the woman gets to take one home for her son because she wants him to be a lot happier. He sniffs it and weird shit starts happening. Same thing back at the laboratory with her boss who created it, and crazy shit starts to go down. It looks fucking good. Definitely check out the trailer for Little Joe. And then also there was another trailer for a movie called Code 8. Now this looks great. It's got a great cast. It's got the guy who plays Green Arrow, Steve Arnell from Arrow. It's got the Chinese dude from the Fast and the Furious, and tons more. It's about these friends. You can tell it takes a little bit of place in the future. They're down on their luck, bills, life, what have you. They all have powers. I don't know if these are natural powers or in the future if they bought modifications for their body off the black market, what have you. But there's probably like a group of 4 or 5 of them, if not more, but they decide to turn to a life of crime because they need money to get by. So they're robbing banks and using their powers, blah, blah, blah. And then you got this crazy cop task force after them that has futuristic weapon, drone planes, robots, and all this other shit. So Code 8 looks like it's going to kick ass. All right, peeps. My recommendation of the week is the Google Stadia. This is going to be awesome. I'm a big video game player. I have been since I was a kid. When I was a kid playing with my uncles, like who knows, 6 years old or younger, we were playing ColecoVision. Then on to Atari, then on to fucking Pong, or before that, then Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, PlayStation, what have you. You get the gist. I still get to play in my spare time when I'm not raising my daughter and when I'm not doing these fucking videos and podcasts for you guys. But I am so stoked about this thing. This thing right here is going to be the console killer. What I mean, your PlayStation, your Xboxes, what have you, they already have the next generation done with, but after that, that's done. There's not going to be any more systems besides maybe Nintendo for the kids. The Google Stadia, you don't need a system. And you get to play all those games plus more on it. Literally, it gives you a Google Chromecast that you hook to your back of your TV, and that comes with a controller also that you charge. It's wireless, just like PlayStation and Xbox. You pay a monthly subscription, and you get to play a huge fucking library of games. They go right to your TV. There's no more downloading games. There's no more buying a game and having to wait 2 hours for it to fucking copy the data and load in your system. This shit just goes boom, boom, boom. All you need is internet, the Google Chrome, and the paddle. It's amazing. And a lot of these services do have things like $9.99 a month for PlayStation and Xbox. PlayStation, they don't even put new games on. Xbox, you can get new games the first day. With this Stadia, like Cyberpunk 2077 comes out in May, everybody's going to pay $60 a pop for it. If you got Google Stadia, you can play it day one. So I'm telling you, it's going to be the console killer, because who the fuck is going to buy $60 for one game or on one system when you can just have it boom, boom, boom like that wirelessly to your TV, ready to go. So the Google Stadia officially drops November 19th, and right now I'm pretty sure you can still take advantage of it. You can get the Founders Pack, which is the Google Chromecast, you get the paddle, you get 3 months of their subscription for free, plus you get Destiny 2 with all its DLC ready to go. $129, that's it. And then I'm hoping personally that it just on Black Friday they're only going to charge $100, because that's what I'm going to get it. But I'm telling you people, this is the fucking future. The Google Stadia is the future of video gaming. You best get you one. All right, on to some movie news. Jamie Lee Curtis did finish the new Halloween a few weeks ago, because I was saying, holy shit, man, she must have get killed off. That was quick. But actually, the whole movie just finished filming a few days ago. I'm pretty sure it took 36 days to film the sequel. Now they got to edit it and get it ready for next year. So it's in the can. It's done. Now the wait is just for a trailer to come, or a teaser trailer, and then next Halloween. I'm stoked. I really hope they don't kill Jamie Lee Curtis off in the second one. We know it will take place in the hospital. Now, a lot of people online are saying they don't want it to take place in a hospital, but from what I'm hearing is that just like Halloween 2, the original, Jamie Lee Curtis is injured from fighting him, and she's going to spend a lot of time in the hospital. So if it's done right, I'm cool with it. They're also thinking that either her granddaughter or her daughter's going to get killed in this one, yada yada. They've been showing pictures of it. Anthony Michael Hall's back, Kyle Richards, they're on screen. People are stoked. It looks fucking awesome. And the cast of the upcoming Marvel film The Eternals had to be evacuated off the set of filming due to a bomb. They were literally filming in either an old Nazi base or where a Nazi war took place, and somebody found a legit fucking bomb on set. So Angelina Jolie and all her crew were evacuated. They had to disarm the bomb and everything's all right. But could you fucking imagine? Now, the upcoming movie, The Batman, they casted a new member, and I found out it's going to be a trilogy also. We know Twilight's Robert Pattinson is playing Batman. You got Paul Dano as the Riddler, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner James Gordon, Zoe Kravitz in Catwoman, but they just added Matthew fucking McConaughey to play Harvey Dent, aka Two-Face. Yo, he is gonna fucking kill it as Two-Face. Supposedly in the first one, he's gonna be Harvey Dent, and then in the next two sequels, he's gonna be fucking Two-Face. This is the Batman supposed to have a bunch of villains, man, and I am so fucking stoked. But Matthew McConaughey playing Two-Face, all I gotta say about that is, alright. The reboot that I reported on that they were filming of the horror movie Wrong Turn has finished shooting. The director tweeted one pic of where the bloody finale will take place. I pray that they don't fuck this up. The first one or two Wrong Turns were so good, and then they went to shit. It deserves a proper reboot. The sequel to the cult horror classic The Terrifier also finished shooting. That's right, peeps. Art the Clown will be back in The Terrifier Part 2. If you ask me, I don't know how he's going to top his list of his last showing, but I bet they will. So look forward in the theaters and video on demand soon enough. The director of the movie, Joker, has answered a question that people have been asking since they've seen the movie. Now, this is a spoiler alert, peeps. This movie's been out for fucking eons now, and if you haven't seen it, well then, tough titty. But people wanted to know if Joker actually killed his imaginary girlfriend, aka the neighbor down the hall. If you've seen the movie, for a good part of the movie, he starts a relationship with this woman. She's with him the whole time, and come to find out, that was all in his head. But in real life, the woman walks into an apartment one day, and here's the Joker sitting on her couch, and she's scared to death. You don't see what happens to her, just that the cops and the ambulance and paramedics go to that building after he leaves. Well, this is what the writer and the director said, so this is the fucking definitive answer. He doesn't kill her, definitively. As the filmmaker and the writer, I am saying he doesn't kill her. We like the idea that it's almost like a litmus test for the audience to say, how crazy is he? Most people that I've spoken to think he didn't kill her because they understand the idea that he only kills people that did him wrong. She had nothing to do with it. Most people understand that. Even as a villain, he was living by a certain code. Of course he didn't kill this woman down the hall. Alright, on to some streaming news. Well, we are a week away from Disney Plus. It does drop Tuesday, November the 12th, and I have to say I'm stoked for this too. Disney is king and goes all out to produce content. I signed up already. If you sign up early, starting Tuesday, you get a week free. You get from November 12th to the 19th on the house, and then on the 19th, they start charging you $7.99 a month. It's going to be a game changer, peeps. This and Netflix are going to be the ones to have. Mark my words. On to some news real quick. Kanye West, rapper turned preacher, has his following all pissed off. He is charging people who come to his church service he does every Sunday $50 to attend it. Some are not happy about this. I mean, in the area he's putting it on, they're all rich motherfuckers, but like me, it'll probably be the point, the principle of the situation. You're putting on this thing, you don't tell me how much you want me to give. I'll give what I want to give. You know, most of those people are paying more than $50 if they could, but people are getting pissed off about that, and I have to say I don't blame them. And as we know, Popeyes has gotten their famous chicken sandwich back this week. How long will it last? Who knows? But in Maryland, 2 men got into a verbal argument in a Popeyes over a sandwich. One man pulled out a knife and stabbed and killed the other man over a Popeyes chicken fucking sandwich. That's why I barely leave the house, peeps. Fucking nuts. All right, let's wrap this show up. We got last weekend's box office. Number one, as I predicted, was Terminator Dark Fate. What I didn't predict is that it would only make $29 million. Even though it was number one, they were projecting $44 million for opening weekend, and if it goes down this long, it could lose over $120 million from what it cost to make it. And everybody's saying, oh, it's because of this, it's because of that, it's because of the John Connor, yada yada. Bullshit. I'll tell you exactly what it's about. What it's about is that Terminator Dark Fate was actually leaked online a week before it came out. I'm not saying I watched it like that because I don't do that shit, peeps. Got my fingers crossed. But I seen it a week ago because, you know, on my last movie show, I did a review for Terminator Dark Fate. So that's definitely why it is going to bomb. And right there's a perfect example about how illegal fucking streaming and that can hurt your business, and it's not cool. So don't do it. But number one was Terminator Dark Fate. Number two, Joker. Finally, after 2 or 3 weeks, it reclaimed its number two spot over Maleficent. Number 3, Maleficent. Number 4, Harriet, about Harriet Tubman. And number 5, The Addams Family. All right, peeps, that's it. We're going to wrap it up this week for this week's edition of the AEW Insiders, Movies and More. I try to cover everything for you guys. I got some wrestling, some TVs, some movies, video games, crazy stories, what have you. I love to spread the word about what I read, what I know, what I find out. But anyway, everything's doing great. The podcast is awesome. Subscriptions is up. Views are up. So I can't thank you guys enough. All right, peeps. I'll be back soon. I got some podcasts and YouTube videos coming up this week. As always, I'm your host, Lee Benson. Thank you so much for joining us on the AEW Insider. Ciao, peeps.